Flatiron District is known for its iconic Flatiron building, but what else is actually in this neighborhood? And is this even a good neighborhood to call home? There's so much to consider in this neighborhood, and I'm gonna go over all of that in this video. Flatiron District is a neighborhood in Midtown Manhattan, and this neighborhood is in such a convenient location. There's so much public transportation that runs through this neighborhood. You're never gonna have a problem getting a bus or a subway in this neighborhood by any means, and you can get pretty much anywhere you need to go in New York City. So when people are looking for a central place to live and then commute to other neighborhoods around the city or outside of the city, they might be interested in the Flatiron District because it's so easy to get to other places in this neighborhood. And the Flatiron District is also bordering so many other great areas in the city as well. Like I said in the beginning of this video, the Flatiron District is a very iconic neighborhood, and iconic neighborhood means that a lot of tourists tend to come to the neighborhood because they want to see the Flatiron District in person. So it's a very beautiful neighborhood, but a lot of tourists are there pretty much at all times during the day. During the day, on weekends, of course, there's just tons of people there. That's just something that you need to be aware of. If you're looking for a quiet neighborhood where you could be away from crowds, the Flatiron District might not be for you because of that. Now, with any neighborhood in New York City, there's going to be some streets, even in a crowded neighborhood, where you could probably get away from some of the noise. So when it comes to like dining and brunch options, there are so many great places to go in this neighborhood and also in the surrounding neighborhoods as well. So you really don't have to go far to get a great meal or to go out for brunch. I do also have to say that I love the coffee shop option in the Flatiron District as well. Now, you guys know me, I've watched my other videos by now. You probably know how much I love a good coffee shop. I think I even love a good coffee date more than I like even going to like a bar scene. I just appreciate a good cup of coffee so much. And you can definitely get so much coffee in this neighborhood. Overall, the Flatiron District is known as being a pretty desirable neighborhood. And I do have to say, as a real estate agent, when I'm working with new clients coming from outside of the city, I do hear a lot of times people requesting and saying that they're interested in the Flatiron District. Now, I did say that Flatiron District is a very central location, and it couldn't be more convenient because of that. On the opposite side, there is something that you need to consider when you're dealing with such a central location like the Flatiron District. The Flatiron District is not a waterfront neighborhood, so it's a landlocked neighborhood, meaning there are other neighborhoods surrounding it on all sides. So you're not bordering the water there. Why does this matter? So sometimes people like to live in waterfront neighborhoods because they like to be able to walk, run, bike near the waterfront and kind of get a breath of fresh air outside of the city for a second, even though you're still in the city. So you're not able to do that in the Flatiron District. You're gonna have to walk either to the west side or the east side to get to a waterfront. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Some people can absolutely care less about this. That doesn't matter to them at all. And then other people, I have to say like myself, I really love living in waterfront neighborhoods because I just love being outside, and you're not able to do that on the waterfront in this neighborhood. But this neighborhood also has Madison Square Park, which is probably one of the more famous parks in New York City. Now, Madison Square Park is gorgeous. Now, there's a great dog park there as well if you have a dog, but Madison Square Park is a little small, especially compared to some other parks in New York City. So just keep that in mind. But because it is a landlocked neighborhood, you do have a little bit of greenery right there. The shopping scene in Flatiron District is very good. Now, the neighborhood isn't really very boutique heavy and local shop heavy. There is a little bit of that, but not nearly as much as other neighborhoods in New York City. Now, when I'm talking about shopping, I mean, there's Marshalls, TJ Maxx, there's athletic apparel places, there is a Zara, there's like fashion places that are more of these bigger brands. So you'll be able to do that right in the neighborhood. There's also technically like Home Depot in the neighborhood too. If you ever have any apartment projects you need to take care of, you can go there as well. So the shopping scene is pretty convenient in this neighborhood. I find myself in this neighborhood from time to time just getting little things here and there just because I'm like, oh, they're definitely gonna have that store in the Flatiron District. So there is also a Trader Joe's and Whole Foods right there as well between Flatiron District and the neighboring neighborhoods. Overall, would I live in the Flatiron District? I do live in downtown Manhattan, but I do think if you're looking for a midtown location, Flatiron District is amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, the biggest con I can think of for the neighborhood is that it's a landlocked neighborhood. Like that's one thing that I don't personally love in New York City. I like to be by the water, but that's really it. So when it comes to prices too for real estate overall, I would say that it could be a little bit pricier. It's not one of the priciest neighborhoods in Manhattan, but it's definitely not one of the cheaper ones either. So it's gonna kind of fall right in the middle spectrum of like basically averagely priced. Like you're not getting really good deals in the Flatiron District. But at the same time, there are some absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous homes. The homes there also aren't too overly small. It depends, of course, on the building and the unit, but you can find some decent sized apartments there in the neighborhood. In Midtown, you can always pretty much find bigger apartments than you can in downtown for the most part, at least. So I would love to know your opinions on the Flatiron District, or even if you're considering a move to the Flatiron District. As always, I just love hearing from you guys.